Hi, welcome back to Huffler Garage. Today we're working on our Fish & Marine 15-foot boat. It's a 1980. And then our engine that's on here is a Honda 50 horsepower. It's a 99. And the model number, if you're looking for it, is right here mounted up to the transom. And it is a BF50A. So today we're going to do an oil change and we're going to change out the gear oil and the foot. So for our oil change, we have Pennzoil 5W30. It takes 2.1 quarts. And then we have a genuine Honda filter for the oil. Our gear oil for the foot is an SAE 90. And then we also have this little pump, which will make it a lot easier to put the oil in. The fill plugs are here on the side, and then our drain plug is on the bottom, and that'll be pretty easy. We'll just slide the pan underneath there, and that'll make it a lot cleaner service. If you had watched our lawnmower video, we used our oil pump to drain the oil, and because especially on this boat, when you go to do the oil change, you have to drain the oil from here. There's no way to keep oil from draining all over the foot of the boat. So we're going to use our pump. We're going to make sure it works, get our oil pumped out, and we'll go from there. So once you start, you're just going to unclip top. Make sure your latches come undone. There's one on the front and one on the back. Pull this thing off. We're just going to set it to the side here. On this cute little Honda engine, our oil filter's pretty self-explanatory. It's right here on the side. If you come around here, here's the dipstick tube. This is where we're going to fish our hose down in to drain the oil. I'm going to go and pull our dipstick. Just set it right there for now. All right. Take the end of your hose, your pickup hose, and just slide it right down in there. Try to get as far as possible. Might be a lot further down than we expected. All right. So this pump, once again, if you watched our other video, it hooks directly to the battery. And make sure your other hose to your fill jug is there. You turn it on, and there the oil goes. Make sure you have no crimps in the line. Let's not push too far in there. Bachoy! Alright guys, alright, so we got our oil drained. There's 2 quarts in that jug down there. So we're about to pull our filter off. There's not a really clean way to do this, obviously because the engine stands up. So we got our filter wrench. Just slide that right up on there. And yeah, that's right. Once you get it loosened up, we're just going to try to take it off with our hands as fast as possible. Get it to turn back up so you don't drop as much oil. I need my pan. All right, let's see. Just dump that right in there. We're going to try to get our towel out. Ah, yes. Most of the oil we got into the pan. There's no full way to get it clean. So once that's in there, we'll grab our filter, grab our little towel, try to get all that cleaned up. Once again, in most of our videos, as we say, check in here and make sure there's no gasket left where the filter mounts up. Now, depending on who you are, whether you use old oil or new oil, I always use old oil. Soak that little sealed up. And voila! I'm just gonna screw this right back on. Now, the smaller the filter, the less you have to torque it. So we're gonna just do torque with one hand. And right there, it actually feels, it actually kind of stopped itself. So let's try to get this off. And of course, it's stuck on there. All right. Towel. Just gonna try to keep everything as clean as possible. All right, so now we're ready to put the oil back in it. We've got our little funnel. A little tight on there. Oh. Drop that right in there. Pull your cap off. Throw your filter in there. Got oil everywhere. This is our friend Mark. He let us borrow the filter wrench. All right, and then you just start pouring. All right, first quart down. All right, second quart's down. And if you're wondering about the pump thing, to make sure you get all of your oil out of the engine you're pumping it out of, when you look at the oil you pulled out, we need to put, this thing takes 2.1 quarts. If you look here on our jug, it's a little over 2 quarts in this jug. That's how much we pulled out. That way you make sure that you get all your old oil out. All right, we'll let her done draining. Set that there. Put our cap back on. Pull your dipstick. It looks like it's full. Now there's still, it looks over full on the dipstick. Once we start it up, then all that oil will be able to recirculate back through the top of the engine. When you go to restart these engines or run these engines out of the water, you need to have the set of earmuffs. These ones we got at a parts store at O'Reilly's. Academy Sports, depending on where you live, does have them for $5. And Walmart has them. Just anywhere that sells marine products, you can get these. Make sure you run these, otherwise you'll run that foot dry and it could cause the engine to overheat and pretty much mess it up. So once we get this started up, we'll check our oil again and we should be good. All right guys, we're gonna start it up, make sure our oil's right. We got our earmuffs on, water's flowing. Turn it on. So once you've done that, Just gonna come over here. Check our oil again. That should be right if we did everything correctly. And if you look at there, she might be just about 0.1 of a quart low. But she's pretty much full. And there's that. So we'll get started on the foot gear lube here in just a second. Alrighty. We're getting ready to change out our gear oil in the foot of this engine. Once again, we have our oil. We have our pump that goes onto it. This was $5 at Walmart. So on this one, you're just going to need a screwdriver. If they're locked in tight, make sure you have a screwdriver that you can put a wrench on. Slide your oil pan up underneath here. All right. See how nasty this is? We have no clue when this was last changed. Well, she looks decent, but a little murky. We're going to pull the oil level one. That way we can get some air flowing through it. Not make it a little easier for it to pour. Yeah, there we go. Set that there. So this thing only takes 16 ounces or about a pint of gear lube. So we'll just let that drain. Considering we don't know how long it was in there, it is a little bit cloudy. So it's gotten moisture over the years. If we had to estimate when the oil was changed, if it ever was, we could be looking at maybe a decade. So we'll just let that drain. So we got our oil drained, our gear oil drained. When you pull your plug out, it's got a little magnet in the bottom of it. Try to clean it out the best you can. That way you can pick up any shavings that are in the oil. And these things do have a plastic washer. That way they actually seal. These look good enough. We're going to reuse them for now. We might come back later and replace them. So we're going to go ahead and put our plug in. Once again, all you need is a screwdriver. Drop down here. Well, just hand tight is all it needs to be. Tighten it too much, you'll strip out that aluminum. All right, and from here, grab our oil and our pump. Now that looks too large, but we're going to see. We're going to check it before we start to use it. Pull our little cap off. And what do you know? It actually, oh, I believe it's supposed to thread in there, but it doesn't look like it's going to do it. Let's try it again. So I was just informed we have an attachment. Now this one says it's for a Yamaha, but it actually does. Well, it's me. I think I might have got too much oil on my fingers. All right, so this attachment screws right into where the fill plug hole would be. And we can screw this right on there. Check that out. And make sure it goes all the way in. Perfect. All right, now we can drop our pump into our oil. And we're just gonna watch on this bottle. We're only gonna put half of it in there. And we're just gonna start pumping. Oh, and it's blue. stand up to do this. It's not as fast as you think it'd be, but it's better than pouring it through some weird funnel. We're almost close to our 500 milliliters, or close to 16 ounces. So if you look on our jug here, we're right underneath 500 milliliters. So we're just gonna let that set, because if we take this off while it's still got pressure on it, it's gonna blow back on us. Once you get finished pumping your 500 milliliters in there, you're just gonna unscrew all this stuff. Just be careful, it might spray a little bit back on you. We got that all wiped up. And we're just gonna put our plug in. We can tell it's full by the little bit that's still draining out. These are pretty self-explanatory. Just wipe all that oil off so it doesn't drip everywhere. And voila! We have successfully changed our oil in the foot. Just wipe everything up. Whenever you get finished pumping, make sure you set your things up in here so they can actually drain. This piece did come with, I'll see if I can get it to pump all the way. Yeah, there we go. Then you can actually leave that in the bottle. And it comes with a cap. That way you don't leak everywhere. Make sure you wipe everything up so that it's clean. And voila. Thank you for joining us today.